Yes, yes. We finally come to the final week of the season, week 18. We're sitting here picking at 45% for myself. Mike is on 47% on every spread this year. And I'm pleased to say, Mike, you can still get to 50 if you pick 100% in all our games this week. We're only picking six this week, so you've got a chance.
Hallelujah. Yeah, the smaller sample size is going to give me a chance at it. I'd be stunned if I make it. Well, obviously, my year, as it's gone to date, I'll be around 3 of 6, which won't get me there, but we'll try our best. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess with the reason we should just say the reason we're only doing six is there's not a lot on a lot of these games. We've just picked the six most important ones, and we're just going to call those that actually have some jeopardy to them.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people resting this week. And we try and give ourselves the best chance to pick some competitive games, get our scores up a bit. This is the worst season we've had doing this, which is a great way to introduce this episode. But a tough year on the spreads for both of us.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But it's all still ahead of us for this week, Tom. Let's start with the NFC South. Panthers at Buccaneers. Do you have a? I don't. I honestly don't remember whose turn it is to go first. So do you want
Right.
me to go first on this one?
Yeah, you take it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
we're going to differ by the sound of things. So.
No, I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and the
Mm.
Panthers are a win one, then lose one, then win one team. They've been doing it since about the month of October,
Yeah.
and as you correctly pointed out earlier, the Buccaneers are on an absolute slide at the moment.
Mm.
Um, so I'm actually gonna just when I actually haven't been able to pick the Panthers correctly all year. Every time I pick them, they because it seems like an unlikely week for them to get a win, they go and win. And my gut feeling is the Buccaneers are a better team, so I guess illogically I'm going to pick the Panthers to win here and cover this spread because yeah, just to follow their pattern of all year, me being wrong on them, and also it would stick to their win loss sort of record they've had recently. So yeah, not a lot of quality thinking in that prediction, but more of a gut feel. So I'm just going to go with the Panthers here.
Well, I'd say it makes sense that you got there in the end. I think it's a bit simpler for me because I've enjoyed backing the Panthers for a few weeks, and like I said, the Bucks are on a real slide. Interestingly, I know you can't read too much into it after a few weeks of the season, but the final against the spread results I'm just looking at, and the Tampa Bay is the worst in the NFL against the spread, a 5-11 record against the spread.
Wow.
So yeah, that solidifies it for me. I'm going to take the Panthers to cover and win this game, actually. Take it on the money line. I was slightly surprised at the spread, actually. Why it's 3 points. Seems big.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Panthers don't really blow anyone out, and it is away from home for them.
Hmm.
Now you can pick up a ticket for this big game for $67 there. So if anyone fancies going down, um, seems like you can walk into Raymond James. Uh, so then the next one we wanted to do was the other game tonight. Probably the outstanding game of the week. No, it's important and it's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so Seahawks at Niners, the big NFC West slugfest. Um, Seahawks are road favorite. What are you going to do here, Thomas?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't like that. I've watched a few of these Niners games the past few weeks, and they're just looking very hard to beat at the moment. As much as I usually enjoy picking against the Niners because they're the darlings of the spreads. They're actually underdogs here, and I don't quite know how you can make him home underdogs in a divisional game that's going to have a lot riding on it. So I'm going to ride with the Niners here, 2.5 points. Um, the offense has just looked very slick since Purdy's come back, playing probably the best football of his career over the last 3 or 4 weeks span, I would argue. And let's see how Darnold does, but I think the Niners have got enough to contain that Seahawks offense and come away with us, kicking a couple field goals to win.
Yeah. It's a tough one this because I think Kittle should be back, but then I think Trent or Williams is questionable offensive tackle.
Mm.
Um, with how depleted their defense is, the 49ers, they really need their offense to step up and play like they have been doing the last few weeks. So it'll be important that those two play. But I think I'm going to take the Niners as well, purely because of the momentum they've built. The Seahawks are in great form as well. Have got some momentum of their own. I just think the 49ers are really clicking at the moment, and looking as good as they had for a couple of years, to be honest. And that should be certainly frightening for me as an Eagles fan, NFC side of the playoffs. So yeah, I think I'm going to take the Niners as well. Although the Seahawks, I still think are a very good team. Should cause anybody some difficulty in the playoffs. But yeah, I think the Niners might just have too much at home here to round the season out.
Yeah, Seahawks have that very good away record, maybe factoring into the spread here.
Yeah, yeah, it's got to come to an end at some point though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not one I feel good about. That
No,
could go.
I'm less confident on this actually in the first game.
Yeah, should be a good one. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Um, so then the next one we wanted to look at was New Orleans at Atlanta. I will pick it first, but do you want to explain why we're looking at this one, Tom?
Well, there is something riding on this because if the Falcons win, even if the Bucks win today, the Panthers will be in the playoffs due to the divisional head-to-head. So there's a lot riding on this for the NFC South.
Yeah, and I think the Falcons have shown in the last few weeks that they're really rallying behind Kirk Cousins. It's a home game.
Mm.
These NFC South games always end up being relatively close, but it's only a 3.5 point spread. So I think the Falcons can win by more than that. I think they can win by a touchdown against a Saints team that haven't given up. Actually, really saved Kellen Moore's job, I would argue, down the stretch there.
Yeah.
The way that he's developed Shook and then kept this team together when they were had a dreadful record to begin the year. It's actually been a pretty good coaching job by Kellen Moore there, and I would say also the Eagles really feeling his absence as our offensive coordinator as well, showing what a good coach he is. So yeah, having said all that though, I think the Falcons are going to win. Cousins is playing for a contract somewhere else next year, so he'll be up for it as he has been the last few weeks. So yeah, giving the Falcons doing the dirty bird in this one.
Yeah. I'm going to differ here.
Ooh,
Hopefully, mostly just for the sake of differing. But I do think it's a divisional game at the end of the day, and both teams are going to be going hard. And I like the 3.5 line they're giving the Saints. Like, I have been they probably impressed me the most actually of any one of these bad teams over the past month. The Saints, as you said, Shuck's really been developing well, playing some good football there. I think they just have enough to stick with the Falcons here. They're going to be shutting down Robinson. You have to on defense, so expect them to just shut that down. And then let's see how Cousins can do. But then the Falcons have got some breaks in some of these wins recently, where they've had big turnovers go their way, and Bijan Robinson just busting off huge runs. So I think as long as the Saints keep that in check, they can cover this one.
my word though, Chris Olave out with blood clots. Dear
I
me.
saw that. Oh, I can't think of a more unlucky first round pick in recent years. Honestly,
He's a bad run of it.
yeah, poor lad.
Um, okay, so then uh,
We're
that
gonna
was
go
that game. So
Green
then
Bay, Minnesota next.
we will very quickly. We should touch on this one. Do you think not to predict the game? Do you think yes or no? Do you think is Garrett going to get it done?
I think he will. Yeah, I think he will. I think the Steelers last week actually sacrificed winning a football game to stop him getting the sack. I honestly think that's what happened. It's the fastest Aaron Rodgers got rid of the ball all year in that game.
Yeah,
And I don't. I also think the Bengals are that fickle. The Bengals Browns relationship isn't as fickle as that. So I think there's a chance with the amount the Bengals throw it. I'm sure they'll
yeah.
sure he'll get a shot.
And the quality of their offensive line play is not great either. The Bengals. So I agree with you. I think Garrett will get it done. The NFL sack record is on his way for the big man.
Yeah.
The next one we're actually going to call, as you said, is the Packers at the Vikings. Is it? It's your honor here because I just picked the.
Ooh, this is interesting. The Packers resting players.
They must be. I thought
Um,
they weren't. So I thought they would be playing for playoff seeding. So maybe we don't need to do this one.
some starters will rest.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know.
no, I don't think we need to do that one. I
No, it's like that line is a bit smelly. I mean, you don't really want to pick at 8.5. That's yeah, no value there for us.
all right. So then
All right.
the next one of interest was Detroit at Chicago, correct?
Yeah, and this I believe Stars will be playing because this line is what you would expect.
Yeah, and I think the Bears also are quite they're quite keen to keep their seeding in the NFC. So at the moment they are the number two seed by virtue of winning their division and having a head-to-head record that is a head-to-head win over the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
so the Eagles would need to win this week and the Bears lose. And I think the Bears are just saying quite simply, we're not going to lose this game. We're going to keep our number two seed and we want to take on one of these NFC, one of these poorer NFC teams in our first playoff game. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably why this is a bit of a more competitive spread. I still think it's your honor here, Tom. So do you want to pick this one first?
Yep. I'm going to take the Bears here. I think the Lions, unfortunately, my predictions for them did hold a bit of value as the season's gone on. And once again, they just haven't kept anyone healthy on their defense. It's a very depleted defense again for the Lions. And I expect the Bears to really get out there and be able to challenge them vertically as well as run the ball pretty competently. So I want to take the Bears at actually -2.5 just so we get a result there. Yeah, I'm not sure if Burden's playing, but a shout out to Luther Burden for being really coming on the past couple of games, much to my enjoyment.
Your boy, you're the darling, the Tom Matthews darling. There's one every year, and he was the Tom Matthews darling of the 2025 draft, having a very solid rookie year.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it just took a while to figure it out, but he's got there in the
I
end
didn't
and looks like
they
a very good value pick for them now.
they didn't play him a lot. They in
Yeah.
he was only getting in 10 personnel for a long time. He
Mm.
wasn't even getting in the field in 11 personnel. They were playing Zacchaeus ahead of him, which is seems absolutely scandalous now. Um, but yeah, I'm going to take the Bears here as well. Not only because there's more on it for the Bears, the Lions defense has struggled, and the way that this Bears team can be got at is by being able to stop their offense. Um, you can stop the offense, but you have to be a better defense than the Lions currently are to put
Yeah.
pressure on Williams. If you can take the running game away from the Bears, I really think Williams can be got at. He doesn't complete a high percentage of his passes, and um, he can be rattled in the pocket, and I think that's what we might see in the playoffs. I just don't think the Lions have the strength in depth on this, as you say, depleted defense to get that done in this game. And I just think the Bears are on a bit of a streak at the moment. I know they lost to the 49ers, but it was an absolute classic last week
Oh yeah.
in San Francisco. It was a great game. So I don't think they'll be too downhearted about that. And as a third sort of factor as well, there's not a huge amount of pressure on them in this game, the Bears, because the Eagles are resting all of their starters, not even trying to compete with them for that number two NFC seed.
Yeah.
So even if they lost this game, the Eagles will probably lose to the Commanders, and they'll hold their number two seed anyway. So it's not a huge amount of pressure. So I think they'll get it done. The Bears.
Yeah. Most takeaways in the NFL, the Bears as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So that'll definitely count down the stretch, I think.
yeah, for sure. So I think the last one we're looking at then is just the big AFC North finale, isn't
Yeah, that's a big one.
it?
Though I'm sure the product might be slightly underwhelming.
Yeah, yeah. At least it will be a good atmosphere, and these two teams hate each other, obviously, so that'll be fun. But I agree that the product of football here could be very, very poor. Um, it's me to pick first, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're on.
I'm actually going to take the Ravens here. I
Mm.
don't think I don't think they're necessarily a much better football team than the Steelers this year. I do think they've got Derrick Henry going at the right time, and I think Lamar Jackson is getting fully healthy now. And it just would be so typical of the AFC North to come down to this game and the underdog away team come in and win it. The Steelers beat the Ravens as fairly hefty underdogs earlier in the season. I think the Ravens repay the favor here, take the
Mm.
AFC North title, and march into the playoffs. Outside of Aaron Rodgers, this Steelers team doesn't have much playoff experience. I think the Ravens do. Although, admittedly, it's not good playoff experience. They lose a lot of playoff games in the first round, but I still think that could help them here. They've been in more big games than this young Steelers team, so I'm gonna say the Ravens here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Last year, the Steelers faded out without a bang, without so much as a bang in the playoffs. That was a very poor run for them. Rodgers might make a bit of difference. I'm going to differ, ringing the bells. I'm going to take the Steelers as home dogs here um, to beat the Ravens again. I think they can do it. I think they'll shut Henry and the running game down, and TJ Watt is back. That's big. And Lamar's still not up to full health. I know DK Metcalf's missing, so a lot of personnel issues you have to consider in this one. And truth be told, it's going to be a 3-point ball game for sure, either way. So I'm just going to take the underdog to cover the field goal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, MVS as your receiver one last week for the Steelers looked pretty hapless. Obviously, you've seen him a lot in Kansas City. The
It's
absence
rough. Yeah, it's rough.
the absence of DK Metcalf is huge for me in this game. I forgot to mention it earlier, but I do. I think it's a big factor. So I
It is
don't
a
know.
fact. Yeah.
I've got to say, more than anything, it's just gut. When I look at this line, I just think, no, the Ravens will win that game. I am
Yeah,
obviously this year I've been wrong more than 50% of the time. So, but yeah, that's my gut. So I'm going to go with it.
no, that's fair play. Yeah. Well, I'll be relying on a big home atmosphere there, in Steel Town there to get it done. But yeah, it'll be a slobber knocker for sure. I mean, what's the yeah, take the under on the points there for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, obviously it's a bit of a truncated episode of the podcast this week, but there's not a huge amount of interest in the NFL really, other than these primetime games at the start and the end of the weekend.
No,
So
no,
yeah, we'll see how
it's
we go.
quite a probably a fitting way for the season to end as well because it's been a rough one. As we mentioned before, a lot of O linemen out this year, more than I can remember in recent years, and a lot of bizarre games, a lot of big fourth quarter comebacks, spread busters. I think we can hold our heads up high and say we've picked okay, even if it is our worst year. But yeah, we'll be back for the playoffs, Mike.
Yeah, back for the playoffs. I think we'll do some playoff pick'ems just for the fun of it. We
Yeah.
normally do. So yeah, we'll see you then for those, and until then, go well.